So let's give a big Southern California welcome to Congressman Tom Dillon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I was just thinking about this. That warm welcome from a group like this always makes the tough times seem so well worthwhile. And especially when I hang out with conservatives, I get my juices going, and my energy up, and my motivation going. And I'm here to tell you, I've been traveling all over the country, and there are people all over this country that are ready to go to work, that want to do something to take our country back, and our states back, and our local governments back. So all is not for naught. But let me just say that, Jim Lacey, thank you for doing this. I am so excited that you made a profit on it, and you're already planning for next year. Where'd Jim go? I can't even, there he is.
He's not spending the profit.
And I just really hope, and I think something like Western CPAC can be the beginnings of building a movement right here on the Western Coast, and it is so vitally important to start with. You know, everybody gets up on California, and I don't know why we have to give up on California. I don't know why we can't build a conservative movement in California and across the country, in anywhere. And my whole career, I just felt that it doesn't take a whole lot of people to make a huge difference. But it does take organization, and it does take commitment, and it does take people that see a vision. And you're starting to grow some of those here in California and around the country. And Senator Hollingsworth, I was in Riverside County and honored his father just last week, and it's great to see you here. I'm at the point right now. You know, somebody said we need uplifting comments. I hope my comments are going to be uplifting. But I got to tell you, I keep thinking, especially over the last week, back to the 70s when I first got involved in politics. Many of you, Jeff didn't mention it, the thing I'm the proudest of, other than being Danny's father and Christine's husband, is that I was a small businessman. I killed bugs for a living. I had a pest control company, and actually that turned out to be a great experience for what I ended up doing. But I can remember an old man from Fort Worth, Texas, by the name of Eddie Childs. Maybe some of you old timers remember Eddie Childs. Back in the 70s, yeah. God bless Eddie Childs. He was the guy that coined the phrase, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." He put it in ads on the television, he put it on bumper stickers, and it rallied people, I know, in Texas, and I think it went around a lot of the country. But he was madder than hell, and he wasn't going to take it anymore. And that's where I am today. I am madder than hell. I got to tell you, I am so mad after last week of what went on in my country. Floyd Brown was talking about how he sort of feels like he's in a twilight zone. Well, first you're in California, Floyd, but in a twilight zone, and you're wondering what is going wrong with my country. It seems like everything, the wrong people are in charge, the wrong things are happening, and it all came to head. In fact, I see the events of last week. In fact, I tell you, I haven't missed being out of Congress one day, except last week. And I was just chomping at the bit to be in the middle of that last week. But I see it as the famous pastor from Chicago said, the chickens came home to roost. It wasn't just financial services that hit us last week. It was everything. It was the deficits. It was the lack of an energy policy. You name our biggest problems in this country, especially over the last 12 months. And it all kind of just came to a crescendo last week. That's what was happening. I see it from a conservative perspective in that almost everything that happened last week happened from the lack of conservatism having any say in what was going on. I have to say, though, and I'm not arguing with John, the House Republicans, not the leadership, the House conservative Republicans did an unbelievable job of stopping what was happening from getting any worse. Bringing that bill down on Monday made them players in the negotiations. They sort of were patted on the head over the weekend before they got to the vote. You know, John McCain comes back. You got to listen to the House Republicans. They patted him on the head over the weekend, and then when it came time to vote, they brought that bill down. And then they had to pay attention to what they were doing and the kinds of stuff like new welfare programs that give people actual cash to pay off their mortgages, forcing corporate America to put labor union goons on their boards, just all kinds of bad stuff that they wanted, completely rewriting our bankruptcy laws to totally take away personal responsibility in making your decisions. All of that kind of stuff was taken out of the bill, and some good stuff was put into the bill. So if they had not held their ground, it would have been a lot worse, as bad as it was. But I saw it as a complete collapse of the conservative movement, to be honest with you, because my president, I supported him. I voted for him twice. I even voted for him for governor. My president actually brought on this panic in my mind. What happened was the administration, through the leadership of Hank Paulson, didn't believe in our free market system. And so the signal that was being sent from the President of the United States, from Paulson, from Bernanke and everything, is they were panicked. And that panic was contagious. And it's gotten even worse. And the more solutions that they have, the worse it's going to get. And we all know from the free market system, it's going to take so much longer to work our way out of this because the government is so involved and making decisions not based on markets, because they didn't even start with those kinds of decisions, but it's going to take longer to come out of it. And when we could have removed those things that government were doing, intervention in our markets, and allow the market to work its way out on its own with less and less intervention. Now the politics is it was because of deregulation that we find ourselves where we are. And I see little or no counter to that argument. And if we don't counter that argument, the Democrats are going to use it, and they'll use it as an excuse if Obama is president to completely take over our economy through regulation and overregulation and intervention and higher taxes and higher spending. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But my message to you here is, now is the time to rebuild our conservative movement. And what I've been trying to do since I left Congress is to do what I can to help rebuild that movement. Let me just describe one of the things that I've found, and I'm not criticizing anybody, but many conservatives are not paying attention to what the left has been able to do over the last 8 years in putting together one of the most powerful, well-coordinated, well-funded political coalitions. I'm not talking about a conspiracy. I'm talking about smart, sophisticated political coalition. And we're losing because of this coalition. It's important for us to talk about policy. It's important for us to be about ideology. How else can we focus on who we are and what our worldview is and develop an organization to support that? It's incredibly important. But ideology